The story of Samuel and the call of God. Once upon a time, in the land of Israel, there was a woman named Hannah who had no children. Hannah prayed to God for a son, and God heard her prayer. She gave birth to a boy and named him Samuel, which means God has heard. When Samuel was a young boy, Hannah took him to the temple to serve under the priest Eli. One night, Samuel heard a voice calling his name. He thought it was Eli, so he went to Eli and said, "Here I am, you called me." But Eli told him he hadn't called. This happened 3 times. Finally, Eli realized that God was calling Samuel. Eli told Samuel, "Go and lie down, and if he calls you, say, 'Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening.'" When God called Samuel again, Samuel responded, "Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening." God told Samuel that he was going to do something terrible to Eli's family because they had not honored him. Samuel grew up and became a prophet of God. He traveled throughout Israel, telling the people about God and his ways. When Samuel was an old man, the people of Israel asked him to give them a king like other nations had. Samuel warned them about the difficulties of having a king, but the people insisted. God told Samuel to anoint Saul as the first king of Israel. Saul was a tall and handsome man, but he did not always obey God. Eventually, God told Samuel to anoint David, a young shepherd, as the next king. Samuel obeyed God and anointed David, even though Saul was still the king. David became a great king who trusted in God and followed his ways. And so, Samuel showed us that God can call anyone, no matter how young or old, to serve him, and that we should always listen to God's voice. The end. Remember, kids, God can call anyone to serve him, and we should always be ready to listen and obey his voice.